Hello, gorgeous souls, and welcome to Friday Night Live. I'm so excited to be here with you tonight. I wanted to share something very special. So today I've been getting some clothes ready and things ready to give away to a local charity. I do that once a year, sometimes twice a year. Hi, Melanie, welcome. And I've been kind of cleaning out my closet and doing a little rearranging and stuff. And so I came across and looked down today and I saw this. So if you follow my Instagram stories, you know what this is. But this is actually the second book that I published. What I wrote, but did not publish, called Virtuously Yours. I actually had a blog. Hey, Laverne. I actually had a blog, and my blog was called Virtuously Yours. I still have the blog, but it was called Virtuously Yours. And so what I decided to do was just take a lot of those blog posts and put it in one book. But it's not only just blog posts, but it's like recipes and a lot of different things. And so it's called Virtuously Yours: Anecdotes, Life Lessons, Tips, Recipes, and More from My Heart and Home to Yours. And I was so excited to look through this today. And so I want to start sharing just a few things in here because I had deleted these. So when I created this book, I said, well, I don't need them on the blog and in the book. So I deleted them off the blog and I kept them in the book. And it's so funny because the book is still ready for me to just press send to publish, and I just haven't. So anyway, I want to share with you one of the lessons in this book, and it's from my personal experience. If you remember, a couple of weeks ago I shared 5 self-care tips for full-time caregivers, and I talked a little bit about my family story, about how my sister passed away, and I took care of her kids. At the time, they were 9, 13, and 20. And so I learned a whole lot of lessons. And so that's what I want to talk about tonight. Just share with you the 5 lessons learned from a new parent is what this one is called. 5 lessons learned from a new parent. And so before we get into that, I do want to mention that for those of you who are a part of Inner Work University, the class that you can go and watch inside of the portal is called Intentional Parenting. Intentional Parenting was written around the same time as this, where I just wanted to pour my heart out and just share some of the major lessons that I learned in just becoming a full-time, full-time soul guardian of my sister's kids. And it was just, you don't get a manual, and people say that all the time, especially with newborns and things like that, but you don't get a manual on teaching you how to parent your specific child. Now, there are some books and things that you can read, and I'm about to share with you some of my tips and things like that, but all relationships are different. All people are different, and because of that, you have to adjust and adapt for your own life and lifestyle. And so I said all of that to say that when all of this happened, not only were we mourning, and I'm probably going to do another one because I have another one in here talking about helping children in the grieving process, but not only were we mourning, all of us were mourning. They were mourning the loss of their mom. I was mourning the loss of my sister. But all of this was new to all of us. And then a month and a half, 2 months, 2 months after my sister passed away, we had a house fire. And the house fire, hi Francisca. We had a house fire, and then we had to be displaced for about 3 months. And then after the 3 months, we had to stay at a hotel for a couple of weeks just before we moved back into the house. So it was just a lot going on around that time, and I had no idea what I was doing. I had no idea how I was going to, parent and raise, 3 human beings who were already mourning their mom and things like that. So it was just a lot. And so these are 5 lessons that I learned during that time that I wrote, and I just wanted to share them with you. So the first one is you want to utilize the power of prayer. Utilize the power of prayer. There is no thing we can do without God. I'm going to say that one more time. There is no thing we can do without God. And parenting is one of those things. All things, but just this one thing that I'm talking about specifically. Utilize the power of prayer, because like I said, I didn't know what I was doing. I had no idea. It's one thing to be an aunt. It's another thing to be a godparent, because you don't really have the authority over that child's life. But when you get authority over a child's life, it's a completely different arena. And because of that, you're going to have to utilize the power of prayer. Here's the thing. God is our God. God knows all of everybody's personalities. God knows what everybody need, what everybody don't need, the type of parenting style that they need, and the type of parenting styles that they don't need, and all of that. So you want to utilize the power of prayer. Not only was I dealing with grieving children, but I was also dealing with someone who had special needs, and helping her transition to adult care. So all of that, I needed the power of prayer, pardon me, during that time. And so that's what really, pardon me, really helped me in that. So number 2 is you want to lean on your village. Lean on your village. Let me tell you something. The power of your village is something that you cannot, pardon me, that you cannot overlook, that you cannot neglect, that you cannot say, hey, I have a village, but I'm not going to lean on them or anything like that. You need people in your life. I know for me, that's who really helped me, besides, of course, God, but that's the people that stepped into our lives that said, hey, I want to help. I want to do this. I want to do that. So having a good, strong village and a good people around you and around your family is super valuable. One of the things about our village is, pardon me, is that, whenever I couldn't, because I was a full-time caregiver to my niece, still am, of course, they would come in and they would do certain things. Or if I needed to go somewhere, my village would say, hey, let me step in and let me help you with Brittany, or let me help you take them this place and that place. And so it's just amazing. And then not only that, but having other people around, because I wasn't married, and so I was a single parent, single guardian. And so just having people around that say, hey, I can help with this, and this, really helped a lot. And then they also helped in the providing for us, also helped in rearing them and guiding them in life. And I just personally believe that we've raised some amazing human beings, and I'm so happy about that. But it wasn't just me, it was our entire village of people who surrounded us and loved us. And here's the thing, when your village comes around, allow them to help you, allow them to bless you, because if you don't allow them, then you actually forfeit the help that I believe God sends in your life. So that is number 2, is lean on your village. And I don't know why I am sweating. Let me just drink a couple of sips of water. Pardon me. Number 3 is you want to loosen the grip. So this is a thing. With my nephew, I wanted to control every single thing when it came to him, because he was about to be, he was 13, about to step into being a teenager, and I just wanted to control so much about everything that he was doing, so much so that after a few months after my sister passed away, we changed churches. And he wanted to stay at the old church, and I was wanting to force him. I literally was wanting to force him to go to this new church, because I just did not want to have to be, having to figure out how he was going to get to church, how we was going to get to church. It was so much in that. And plus, it takes both of us, or at the time it took both of us to transport my niece Brittany. So I really was trying to control so much of his life. And I remember one day at church, actually, in the parking lot, I heard God say to me, loosen the grip. He has his own life, and there are certain decisions that he's gotta have to make, and certain path that he's got to take for his life. So you have to loosen the grip, and so that's what I did. And when I did that, we started having the best relationship, because it went from me trying to control him to just me offering guidance whenever he needed it. And I had to trust that my sister raised him up to that point the right way. And then the people that were in our lives, especially his father's family that were in our lives, they actually did a great job. And so when I loosened the grip, it actually helped he and I have a better relationship. So you have to understand and know. Here's the thing. They have their own testimonies and their own path in life. And all we can do is guide them on that path whenever they need guidance. But we can't make them, or we can't make those decisions for them, nor can we make them make those decisions for themselves. So that is number 3, loosen the grip. Number 4, same part of that is that God has a plan for their lives. Everything I'm going to say, just read what I wrote here. Everything that has happened in their lives is what is supposed to happen. Plain and simple, good, bad, or indifferent. It is a part of God's plan for them. And our job as parents is to assist God in shaping and building their lives so that they can be equipped to make sound decisions day to day and equip them for their future. But overall, God has a specific plan for their lives, and all we need to do is trust God, 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 trust God that God will lead them, because after all, we are all children of God. Your children are children of God, just like you are a child of God. So we have to trust that God has a specific plan for their lives in the same way that we know and trust that God has a specific plan for our lives. And the last one is allow them to make decisions to help in the decision-making process. Now, this one was really big, and it was very different from the way I was raised, because my sister and I were raised, in a family where, we were told what to do and we did it. And even if we rebelled, we still had to do it, and not in a sense where our mother was very domineering. It's just that was just the way it was when we were growing up. Like, if you were told to do something, you did it. And it wasn't necessarily we had a whole lot of choices in the matter. It was either you gonna do it or suffer the consequences. And so for us, when it came to them, I wanted them to be a part of the decision-making process. But one of the things that I had to learn really quickly was to give them some structure around the decisions that they could make. Meaning that you can make the decision, but these are your choices, as opposed to just letting them free reign and just make whatever radical decision that they wanted. There had to be some guidance surrounding that. And so that really helped me to build a rapport with them, that they started to trust me, and they started to realize, because when you're going into a new situation like that, even though they've known me as an aunt prior to their mom passing away, they didn't know what kind of parent I was going to be. So even in that kind of helped them to trust me even more, to be, a good parent to them, and to be able to talk to them and let them know I talk to them about everything. Like, I would tell them about everything. And sometimes I'd be thinking, going back in my mind, was that really a good thing? Because I talked to them about, when I didn't have the money, and this is why I don't have the money, or, this is why I'm making the decisions that I'm making, and things like that. But what it did for my niece, who's now 20, is it opened up a communication between the two of us. And my nephew, he calls and talks to me about a lot of things too. But especially my niece, who's 20, like, we talk about everything. And when I say everything, and it also helped them to know that I don't know it all, and I didn't know it all. and that I was in it just like they were in it too. You know, that we were on this journey together. And I want to offer a bonus because this just came to me, because this is something that I had to do several times and still do to this day. And that is, don't be afraid to apologize to your children. Don't be afraid to say you're sorry. Don't be afraid to ask for forgiveness. Don't be afraid to just be a human being. We all make mistakes. We all make mistakes. And God knows I made plenty of parenting mistakes. And I had to say, I'm sorry that I said that to you. I'm sorry that I did that. Or you know what? I'm sorry that I actually made that decision, because that wasn't the best decision for us. So give yourself grace too. But be okay with saying you're sorry and apologizing, because what that does is it teaches your children that it's okay to apologize. It's okay that when you're wrong, that you can say I'm wrong, or I'm having a issue or a situation where I may not know it, or I may not get it right, and because I said what I said or did what I did, you can come back and say you're sorry. One of the biggest things for us is we created a really good rapport. And what I thought initially was that they needed me, I ended up finding out that I needed them just as much as they needed me. So having to learn all of this and having to go through this process with them, I wouldn't have asked for any other human beings to go through that process with. It was beautiful, and it still is. And our dynamics have changed a lot, because now they're adults, and they don't necessarily look at me as a parent, and never really have looked at me as a parent, more so than an aunt who was guiding them and leading them. But I believe that that's what made the relationship work even better too, because there was not that that thing where I felt that they thought, or I even tried to take their mother's place. I never felt that way. I never desired to, because you cannot replace someone's mother. And so that really just led to just a beautiful relationship that we all have. I don't talk to my nephew every day, but my nephew knows that if he needs anything, he can call me and talk to me. And sometimes he'll call and just say, I just need to talk, and I love that. And the 20-year-old, she and I, we talk every day, and we go through our, issues or whatever, and we talk through it and we work through it, and we're fine. But that's what life is. And one of the things that their aunt always says on my nephew's father's side, his father's family played a key role in our village. And one of the things that his aunt says all the time is that, we're family. And we may not like each other today or tomorrow, but the bottom line is we are still family, and we're all we have. And that's what I hope that they got that. If they didn't get anything else, I hope that they got that we are family, regardless of what's happening, regardless of what's going on, regardless of if we disagree, regardless of if we fall out or whatever, we are family. And it's just been a beautiful thing. And so in this, I have a few things that I want to share. If you want to write these down, or you know what, instead of me giving these, I'm going to take a snapshot and I'm going to post these. But these are some scriptures that you can actually write down for praying for your children. Like I said, when I came across this today and I started flipping through it, I was like, this was really good. I don't know why. I'm still trying to figure out why I didn't publish this. I do not know why I did not publish this. Again, it's still possible that I could publish it because it has recipes, apple crisp recipe, homemade chicken pot pie recipe. It also has household budgets and how relationships. The parenting came under the relationship section. What else? People pleasing, daddy issues. What else? How to get unstuck, guarding the heart to change your life, 10 ways to expand your life, God over men, money, and material things, 10 tips for having a spectacular year. That one is still on my blog. My blog is Inner Work with Deaquilin. You can go to my website if you want to check out my blog. It's there. The Mindset for More, 10 tips for living a drama-free life. I think I'm going to go over that one next week, next Friday. 10 tips for living a drama-free life. How to create a prayer journal. In Search of My Destiny. 10 keys to effective Bible study. It's a lot in here. Let go and let God. Uncover and heal the hurt. The first fruit of your emotions. It's a lot. It's only what, 120, 24, 25 pages, but it's packed. So I'm definitely going to come on and share again out of this book. I hope that what I shared tonight benefited you. And that's all I wanted to share. I hope that you have a great weekend. And I want to invite you to join me tomorrow night at 8 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time for my weekly Inner Glow Confidence call. We are on the sixth trait of the 7 traits of a healed woman. So we will be on trait number 6 tomorrow night. And then also too, let me say this about parenting, that you have to be willing and able to work on yourself and to heal yourself and to get yourself in a good space in your life. So you're going to have to do the inner work. And if you're not willing to do the inner work, then what you'll do is those issues that you have, you're going to bleed those all over your kids. So get the help that you need. That may be going to therapy, that may be getting a counselor, that may be getting a life coach, that may be getting just talking to someone who is, pardon me, who is, a trusted friend that you can talk through and talk about, maybe some challenges that you may have had. It's important that you heal. It's important that you find yourself in a good space. It's important that you be happy and healthy. And if you're not happy and healthy, then what's going to happen is, again, you're going to put those issues off on your children. So with that, I want to just say that if you need to reach out to me, feel free to reach out to me. I'll be more than happy to chit chat with you or listen to you or whatever. But also too, I have an Inner Work Starter Kit. The Inner Work Starter Kit is 4 courses, some 20 audio classes, 6 guided affirmations, ebook, and one has 100 journal questions, and then the bonus is a free 101 journal prompts for inner work. So that's actually 200 questions that you can answer. You can do one a day, to get down to maybe whatever the core is that you may be feeling or thinking. And this also can help you in asking maybe your children those same questions and doing the inner work with your children. So it's not just about you, but doing the inner work with your children as well. And so if you want to get that starter kit, the Inner Work Starter Kit, just send me a private message, or you can click the link in my bio, or somewhere around this video will be the link. But with that, thank you so much for being a part of my Friday Night Live. I appreciate you. Thank you, Francisca. Thank you, Melanie. Thank you, Laverne. And thank you, Rashida. Welcome. I appreciate you all for joining me. And for those of you who are watching this replay on YouTube, thank you so much for being a part of my YouTube channel. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell button so that you can be notified on whenever I go live again. I just want you to know that you are the work of God. God's work is wholly lovable and wholly loving. Have an amazing night. Take care.